a tiny little fraction of
Just
people, but
reminder.
they're loud, who send us messages or comments saying, stop giving Candace a platform. You guys, she has the biggest platform in the world. Okay?
Number one podcast in the world.
Number one podcast in the world. It is up to the tiny accounts like ours to push back on the biggest platform in the world. She and other people that we'll get to later are going to be responsible for losses in the midterms and the 2028 election. We have to address it. We're going to be in a Marxist hellscape if we allow the crazy to not be called out.
Okay? Kind of our responsibility. It's kind
of talk about it.
Yes, bigger than Rogan's. Yes. Bigger than Rogan's. Yes.
And even, okay, like, I know people are like, well, maybe that was just a fluke. Whatever. No. So she's in the top 3 or top 5.
Okay.
She has a humongous platform. We are itsy bitsy teeny compared to her. Okay. So we're not like platforming her.
No.
We are simply calling out the crazy, which needs to be called out. And by golly, we're going to do it.
We're going to do it. We have to, you guys. It's a big problem because a lot of conservatives, very smart people, are following this woman, and they're like, oh yeah, it's like
they've bought
here are the 50,000 different things that are happening, and I'm a cult member. And then listen, the midterms are a huge deal. All the elections coming up are a huge deal. There's a fracture happening in our party. It matters. We're going to talk about it.
Matters.
Don't tell us what to do.
That's right. And you can bow out.
That's whatever. We're used to it. We're used to it. And we're going to be small. It's how we're used to being small. It's okay.
That's right. We're not here to be Candace. We're not here to be that big. I don't ever, ever, ever want that level of notoriety.
Right.
Ever.
We're fine with it. It's fine.
And that's why it's so extra funny when people are like, you guys are so jealous of her.
And I'm like, no, I'm actually not.
I wouldn't trade places with her if you paid me $1 zillion.
Well, I mean, for one, that means we would have gay husbands, and I don't.
Right. I don't want that. Nobody wants that.
No, I don't want that.
So it has been a very juicy 24 hours, and I could see something bubbling up to the surface early in the day yesterday when Andrew Colvett actually pushed back against a Candace narrative. Now, not directly to Candace herself, but to one of her crazy followers, Evan Kilgore, I think is his name. Evan tweeted, Candace Owens just said a close family friend of Andrew Colvett allegedly reached out to her and said Andrew told them that he had, quote, lost out of millions when Charlie Kirk rejected the deal with Benjamin Netanyahu earlier this year. So Andrew was like, he finally weighed in. They've been very quiet. The TPUSA execs have been very quiet.
For 3 months, they've been quiet. By the way,
for 3 months.
Can Evan Kilgore put a shirt on? Can I just ask him to put
I don't even know if that's him. Is that him?
I don't even know. I don't know. But for the love of God, put a shirt on in your profile picture. Anyways, continue.
So Andrew responded, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah,
he's actually replying to one of these lies. And he said, LOL, this is laughably untrue. There was never any BB bucks. Neither Israel nor Netanyahu ever offered, and Charlie wouldn't have accepted if they did, literally have a board rule against accepting foreign money. And I certainly would not have made any money off of it. And so I was like, good for you, Andrew. Way to finally push back against some of the crazy. And then the Charlie Kirk show happened. Now, if you have not heard Blake Neff, who was the producer on the Charlie Kirk show when Charlie was alive and now has taken a bit of more of a front seat in terms of being on the show and an on-camera presence, he did like a 15-minute response to everything that Candace has ever said.
Great. It was really measured and wonderful and great. And I encourage everybody to watch that if you haven't watched it.
In full, because we'll show a little bit of it, but it's so important that you see the whole entire thing. We're just going to cover some main highlights. So here's a little bit of Blake Neff addressing, finally, these ridiculous Candace claims. He was perfect, I thought, in this video.
Ever since Charlie's murder, Candace Owens has leveled a flood of allegations against people at Turning Point USA, people at Turning Point Action, and people who work for this show. She has made them against some of Charlie's closest friends and against some of his most dedicated employees. She has suggested that Michael McCoy, Charlie's chief of staff, knew Charlie would be murdered, was happy that he died, and stayed silent because he was told he would be the next Charlie. She has suggested Michael is not his real name. It is. I have seen his birth certificate myself. What? She has called it suspicious that Mikey's wife, who works at Turning Point, helped plan the campus tour event where Charlie was murdered, which she didn't, by the way. She doesn't work on campus events. Candace has suggested the Utah Valley University event was unusual and its details suggested a, quote, inside job. She has claimed that foreign aircraft have followed Erica Kirk around the country and that Turning Point has lied about this happening. She has accused us of lying about Charlie wanting Erica to take over for him if he died. She has suggested Charlie's security team intentionally denied him first aid after the shooting to ensure that he died. She has raised suspicions about the head of our technical team because he took an SD card out of a camera. She has spread absurd claims that Tyler Boyer, who we just had on the show, sexually abuses male interns. Even if not everyone has been named specifically, though, Candace has effectively tarred everyone here with complicity in Charlie's death by repeatedly saying he was, quote, betrayed by, quote, everyone. The attacks and allegations from Candace are either lies or they are innuendos thrown around with a total reckless disregard for the truth so that Candace can manipulate and string along an audience of people who don't realize they are being played. She's using these falsehoods to enrich herself while dividing the conservative movement at an absolutely critical time for this country. Our silence has never been, and it will never be, equal to complacency or approval.
I love that.
Candace has mentioned several times that the ball is in our court. So here's what is going to happen. In the near future, there will be a live stream here in Phoenix where we address in a clear and comprehensive way the claims and accusations, the false accusations that have been made against Charlie's family, friends, and the people here at Turning Point. We plan to walk through everything carefully and thoroughly. If Candace is available, we would sincerely welcome her participation in that live stream at our studio here in Phoenix. At this point, we believe the ball is back in her court. Our motivation for doing this is not out of any obligation to Candace. It is about honoring Charlie. We feel a deep responsibility to protect his legacy, his work, and the truth. I feel that. I owe Charlie everything in my life. I feel it immensely.
God bless him.
I know.
Can I just quickly call out a comment that somebody made? Johnine said that Candace isn't #1 platform. There's no credible source that supports that. The only people who say that are other podcasts, which is bullshit, Johnine. She actually said it. She gloated about it on her own.
Oh yeah,
podcast.
she posted the stat of a newspaper article.
Right.
I mean,
so
listen, those stats change literally minute to minute.
They do. Mm-hmm.
But there was a point where her podcast was the #1 across platforms in the world, and that moves around a little bit. She has never not been in the top 10, and that's huge. Okay, so you can fuss about whether it's #1 or #2 or #8. It doesn't matter. Her platform is enormous. Yeah. That's the point.
So I don't know why you would dispute that. And she gloats about it. She loves it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyways, but going back to them saying, hey, we're inviting her to be here. She's absolutely delighted about it.
Oh, she's delighted. Yeah. We're going to show how giddy she was. Mikey McCoy, just because I wanted to put his voice out there too. All the folks at Turning Point kind of collectively have now been speaking out. Mikey, after that video got released, after the show got released yesterday, he said, not all that's done in the name of truth and justice promotes truth and accomplishes justice. Thankful for the incredible Blake Neff and Frank Turek, who we'll have a clip of later on the show today. I'll be happy to address all of this on the live stream with you guys. And then I love how he put a question mark by his name. because she's like, that's not even his real name.
That's
my favorite.
That is really, really great. I love it.
So her first reply, I think, was just a tweet, or no, was it the video? Video.
Yay! Finally, you didn't have to get through all that shade that you were throwing me to get to the point that you were willing to answer questions. I'm the right person to sit across from you and to ask you questions, right? Some things that you told me on that day, they're not adding up. I think the entire world would like to see this discussion. You can pick the place, you can pick the time. I say we do it tomorrow. We don't need to plan for this. We don't need lawyers in between us, lawyer statements. It's not how I roll, okay? I don't care about any of that. I want it to be authentic. Like I said, you can take the money. We can raise money live for this conversation. That is how badly the world is demanding it. So I accept it with whistles and bells, everything. I fully accept. I say, let's do it tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow. And my only ground rule is no assassinations. Okay? No assassinations, no funny business. You can't pretend you're going to do it. And then Candace died in a mysterious accident. Okay?
That's an important line because
Yeah, it is.
you can see that she's making light of the assassination attempts against her by like French legionnaires and an Israeli or whatever. She is mocking that. It is confirmed by her most ardent supporter, that village crazy lady or whatever, that she did go to Dollywood. She does not give a shit that her life is supposedly in danger. She's mocking it and making light of it. That's an important thing to remember.
Yeah, I mean, like if somebody was trying to assassinate you, wouldn't you just immediately go to a theme park with your children? Wouldn't you do that? I mean, of course, that's what you guys would do, right? Of course. Hey, kids, let's go to Dollywood. Woo!
Right. And that
No.
same support of hers was like, Dollywood has like really good security.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
That is going to be.
Pigeon Forge is known for that, you guys.
Oh my God. Yeah. Dollywood's got great security against
Right.
French legionnaires and
Yes.
Israeli assassins.
They're known for that. Pigeon Forge is known for that. I mean, I went to school at University of Tennessee in Knoxville, and we used to go to Dollywood quite a bit. They're known for their high security. Yeah.
Right. It's all you hear about. That's who trains the IDF. Did you guys not know that?
Absolutely. It's just, okay. All right.
So now the question is, because we've been waiting and waiting and waiting for TPUSA to sack up about this, right? Like I have been desperate for them to sack up. I've been hoping that they would sue her. I don't know. Maybe they still will. Who knows? And so, but now the question is, because you guys may remember, she invited us on her show because she got mad at us for making fun of whatever. I don't even remember.
Shoulder pads. Was it her shoulder pads?
It wasn't about that.
Originally, it was she hated us making fun of her shoulder.
I think it was the Brigitte stuff. I think she wanted to
Brigitte
debate us
Macron.
about the Brigitte stuff.
Okay.
And we were like, hell no, because she will be exactly like, and we gave this analogy, it would be like trying to debate the Westboro Baptist Church. She will be throwing out the most random psychotic things that we can't possibly have all the detail about. And we would never, we would just be set up to fail.
Yeah, because
and I do worry that that's going to be what is happening to TPUSA. I worry about that.
Because when a crazy person believes all of their own craziness, you guys have them in your family. I know you do. Some of you do, maybe not all of you. And bless your heart if you don't have that in your family, but I know a lot of you do. It's hard to debate a narcissist that actually believes their own psychosis. It's hard because they believe it. They believe it with every ounce of their being. And I believe that she truly believes everything that she's spewing out there 100%. To the masses. And when they believe it and they're just throwing shit out everywhere.
And they're connecting dots that are from like all kinds of different places.
You can't dispute that kind of crazy. You can't.
You can't. And I worry about it. I worry about it. There's mixed opinion about how this will go because, obviously she's accepted and there's a date set. We'll get to that in just a minute. But there's differing opinions about this. And I just wanted to share a few of them and you guys can figure out where you stand. Banshee from Red State said, inviting her to come on and hijack their attempt at getting the facts out is such a bad move here. This will be a disaster. She will just talk in circles and spew conspiracies, demanding that they prove her negatives. This is exactly the reason that we didn't want to debate her.
Exactly.
That is like perfectly stated.
Yep.
And so that's one take on it. Then we have a take from Misfit Patriot, who also made, I thought, a really good point. This is not going to go the way she thinks it is, he said. The CNN interview proved that when she's not solo in front of a camera and has actual pushback, she turns into a fucking psycho.
Yeah,
it should be fun to watch. I'll give her credit for being able to get views. People love train wrecks.
They really do. They do. and I, something I just want to point out, the celebration of being able to have this debate with TPUSA, Listen, I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one, but I immediately think of his kids. I
Yeah.
immediately think of like his kids and the fact that would she celebrate this in front of his children? Like their dad died. Their dad was murdered. And she claims to be like one of his best friends or his best friend. Is this lost on everybody? Like, what is even going on? You know
Well,
what I
she
mean?
claims that because she is so close with him and cares about him, she's the only one that cares about him. She wants to know the real reason that he died, and it has to do with bees and Israel. So
yeah, has she even grieved him for more than 2 seconds? I find all of this so repulsive. I really
it's
do.
disgusting.
All of it. Yeah.
It's absolutely
and
disgusting.
the fact that she's trying to literally tear down his legacy, because that's precisely what she's doing. I just don't see any love there. I don't.
She's destroying everything he ever loved.
Yeah.
Ever, like all of it.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me that that's what a good friend does. I'm sorry.
No.
There's an account called Brick Suit. He's actually the person that called her out for posting what she thought was Utah time when it came to some of the Egyptian planes. He was like, no, that's UTC time. That's not the same. So he called her out on that. And he had an opinion about how this may go down as well. What he said is, as I think more and more about it, I am increasingly ambivalent about the utility of any TPUSA/Candace live exchange. I fear no minds will change. Both sides will claim victory, and that little will be accomplished. I'm going to sleep on it, but that's where I am now. And I was talking to Daisy pre-show, and I was saying I would love for them to do their comprehensive takedown of all of her theories without her, and then have her on.
Yeah, I think
but it's too late for that. Like,
I know.
they're already just going to have her on.
I hear you. And then another thing I'd like to point out is, remember, like, I think it was the day after he was assassinated, and you and I did a show, and it was a very emotional show. I mean, the whole show was about Charlie Kirk and what he meant to us. And we'd never met him personally, but he meant so much to us, just as because of what we do. And he meant so much to so many people in our community, right? He touched so many lives. And then we got a note from this woman who presumably has watched us for a couple years. And she demanded that we take every bit of money that we made from our show that we did. Do you remember that? She demanded, she was like, did you make any money from the show that day? If you did, then you need to give all that money to Charlie's family or to his children or whatever. I wonder if this woman is asking the same of Candace.
I wonder the amount of money that she has been making
over the past 3 months. I can't even imagine the amount of money that she has made, just sucking his grave dry of just clicks and rage bait and I just can't imagine how much she's made off of it. She's literally made it a profit center, and it's been an extremely lucrative one. And so I wonder if that woman has contacted her and asked her if she's taken all that money and given it either to his children or to some sort of a Christian charity that maybe that Charlie, since she knew Charlie so well, there obviously were a couple of Christian charities I assume that he loved or held dear to his heart. Has she done that? Just curious.
She's actually done just the opposite by telling donors and telling supporters of Turning Point to request refunds and stop sending money to TPUSA. She's trying to drag that entire organization. She's trying to burn it to the ground. So she's done just the opposite. And yet she maintains this certain level of plausible deniability about her own money making from Charlie's death by saying, well, I've always had cups that say, we don't know, but we know. I've always had, I don't have any Charlie specific merchandise. That's how she excuses the way that she has been profiting about this.
Yeah. And then she will look at them and say, they sold t-shirts that said freedom on it.
Because everyone wanted one, and it was in support of Charlie's organization.
And to honor him. And to show, I see people still, like at swim meets, I see people all over, like where I live, wearing freedom shirts because I don't know if people know this, but we've been saying freedom before Charlie died. Like that's something that we Americans say. We're all about freedom, but also we want to honor him. And we want to say that his legacy will not die. And so of course we're going to get shirts like that. Does she not get that?
No, she does not. She does not.